Today I'll be exploring some cool stuff you can find off of Hummingbird Trail. Hummingbird Trail is at the end of Kuehner Drive, which is the first exit as you come down into Simi Valley from Los Angeles on the 118. That security gate you see on the left leads up to the Hummingbird's Nest Ranch, which is a high-end wedding venue, but it's also the location of one of the first American settlers that came to the Simi Valley. Here we have the Hummingbird Trail head, which all the usual warnings you'll find in Southern California: rattlesnakes, coyotes, mountain lions. I've seen coyotes and rattlesnakes, never seen a mountain lion on trail. Let's head down the trail some more, past this new subdivision. Looks like I got some new signs too. They weren't here the last time I was here. Head toward this inexplicable stone wall. I've never been able to figure out what it's for. It's obviously not a foundation for a building. Maybe it's flood control, but it predates the subdivision, so I don't know. Gratitude rocks. Are these rocks called the Gratitude rocks, or is it just that the concept of gratitude rocks? It's a mystery that won't be solved in this video. Let's continue on down. If you get to here, you can go either right or left. It doesn't matter. The official trail goes to the left. I'm going to go to the right. Doesn't matter. All leads to the same place, which is this creek bed. This is the Hummingbird Creek. Now, the Hummingbird Creek plays a role in Simi Valley history. Well, it used to be running all the time. Back in the 1800s, one of the reasons why the Hummingbird Nest Ranch was built here is because the creek was always flowing with water. The creek also fed water to the Simi Hotel. The Simi Hotel was built by land speculators, so people had a place to stay when they came out to look at plots of land they might want to buy. But as with most creeks in the Simi Valley area, it's now just a dry wash, and you only have water in it when it rains. But it does lead to this cool culvert that goes under the 118, which is a favorite spot for graffiti artists. The outer wall of this is periodically covered with graffiti and then painted over and then more graffiti. As you can see here, we seem to be at the painted over and new graffiti is just coming back phase. I need to be careful as I step over these rocks. Don't want to face plant. Well, in addition to graffiti on the outside, the graffiti also extends all the way through the culvert, which I find really cool. I've never walked the whole distance through. I'm going to do that someday. But as you can see, pretty cool graffiti. I think it's actually quite nice looking. Others might disagree, but I think it's pretty. Very colorful, very creative. Someday I'll walk through the whole thing. But for now, just a peek. Let's head back to the main trail. All right, getting back to the main trail, which will be to the right here pretty quickly. All right, heading back up. As you can see, there's trails to the right of us, trails to the left of us. You really need to follow the trail markers if you want to stay on the Hummingbird Trail proper, which in this case will be up to the right. We're going to come back and go to the left later, but for now we're going to continue up Hummingbird Trail proper. One of the really fun things about this trail is there's a lot of exposed rock, as you can see here. We're just getting to the beginning of it. The whole middle section of this trail will be exposed rock or little canyons and crevices. I really like it for that. It's really unique among Simi Valley trails. Here we're going to head off to the right, branching off of the main trail to find some cool things off to the right. I've never explored off in this direction, and I've always wanted to. There's some cool things over here. Let's take a right again and head towards the highway or freeway. My wife always teases me. I say one thing and she says the other. I'm from the Midwest, and I call every major road a highway, even though it's technically a freeway. Anyways, on with trails. When you get to this point, you can go down and to the left or straight and up on this rock. I'm going to go up on this rock and see what there is to see. All right, we're getting a nice view of boulders and paths and highways. Lots to explore here. That's what's so great about this trail and this hill. So much to explore, just have to step off the main trail. Let's head back and go down and to the left and see what we were just standing on. Down and to the left. Alright, as we come around the corner, doesn't show up that well yet on camera because it's so bright, but there's like caves and cavities built by the piled up boulders. Stick your head in there at your own peril. Who knows what'll be in there? Of course, I'm going to stick my head in there at my own peril. I came out alive. Anyways, these are more cool things. We'll get a better shot of it soon. I'm sure a lot of this is augmented by the wind and water pouring through here. You can tell there's erosion. Probably a pretty awesome experience to come through here in a rainstorm. That crack goes way back. I don't know. I mean, is this little boulder holding up the bigger boulder? That crack goes way back off to the right. Panned away from it. Let's go around and take a look at it from the other side. Coming in from this side, I'm going to be a little bit more careful. Make sure I don't run into any mountain lions, coyotes, or rattlesnakes. So far, so good. Let me extend this guy so we can get a closer look at some things. Oh, there's this hole. This is a pretty deep hole. Wow. Look at that. Okay. Well, let's poke our camera into here. Get it better. Okay, now we can see what's in here. That certainly would be a place to hide if you're hiding from somebody. Alright, let's keep exploring, walking in the direction of the highway or freeway. I see another pile of boulders coming up on the right. Let's see what we can see over here. Staring into the sun, so lots of shadows. Sorry for that. But I can tell there's more holes and cracks and crevices and things for critters to hide in, and rip. I don't think I want to go in that direction. I think I'm being warned off. Anyways, there's something much cooler in this direction. There's a big ravine that I see when I'm driving by on the 118, and I've always wanted to explore it. This is the first time I've come over here, so let's see what it looks like. Ah, this is really cool. This hidden ravine. People drive by it every day, probably don't even notice it. My imagination is running wild. I can imagine that there's all kinds of creatures living down there, as yet undiscovered by science. Sort of a land lost in time. Who knows? Or maybe there's pygmy mammoths and pygmy giant sloths. Pygmy giant sloths? Yeah. There used to be giant sloths and mammoths living in Simi Valley. They found bones. You can find them in museums. But I'm sure they don't live here anymore, but it's still fun to imagine. Oh, I'd love to explore this area some more. So beautiful. There seems like there might even be a trail down there. Not quite sure. But I don't have time today to do it. I'll have to come back. Then I head back to the main trail and head further up the hill. There's more cool stuff up that way. As you can see, trails branch off again, right and left. I use the All Trails app to find my way around, and I highly recommend it, especially in this area when there's so many branching trails. Some places there's just one place to go, one direction, but here there's all kinds of directions. I'm actually back on the main Hummingbird Trail, so if you go Hummingbird Trail, you'll see all these cool rocks that I'm walking by right now. Speaking of cool rocks, let's not walk by these and head down into here. like many places on this trail, just a few feet off the main path are features like this. Got a crevice, duck down here, take a look inside. Unfortunately, I didn't duck down far enough, and there's still a bunch of lens flare. But you guys can come back and explore this on your own, see what it looks like. Alright, heading further back up the trail. Gotta carefully maneuver around these boulders. And up we go. There's some more cool cracks over here. Let's explore them. Now we're kind of looking down into the crack we were just looking up into before. This crack runs quite a way up the hill, as you can see. Lots of cool places to explore. Let's keep heading up. Okay, we're further up the hill. Let's poke our heads into the crack as it is here. It's gotten a little wider. It's another little mini ecosystem. You can see there's green plants growing in there. They must obviously get more water. They're thriving, even though it hasn't rained in quite a while. Doesn't look like there's a trail down there. I don't recommend jumping down in there and exploring. It's pretty far down. I'm gonna go along the edge here, see what I can see. I actually have the camera held out at arm's length. I'm not really that close to the edge. Unfortunately, the shadows are hiding a lot of the details. Maybe if I point the camera straight down, you can see what the bottom of this looks like. There we go. I really want to jump over to that rock and explore up to the right, but there'd be no way of getting back. The rock is actually further away than it looks on camera. I could probably get there if I ran and leaped, but I'm not going to do it. Let's head further up and see what there is to see up here. Oh, there's this cool pothole, I think they're called. Oh, rain fills this up and swirls tiny pebbles around. It just causes that erosion. As I was looking at that, I saw this rock over to the right, or to the left. Looks like a petrified landing shuttle. Get this wing coming down, hollowed out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Unfortunately, there's graffiti here and there on the hillside. Let's see if we can figure out what this is. DM backward HTA? Not sure. Lots of little crevices a person could hide in. Now, back in the 1800s, there was this famous bandit, Vasquez. The Vasquez rocks are named after him, in fact. But he and his gang also did things in this area, too. Waylaid people coming through the Santa Susana Pass. And rumor has it he's hidden some of his treasure on this hillside. Of course, it's just a rumor. People have come out occasionally and looked for it. Nobody's found anything. Ooh, here's another pothole, another erosion feature. I love these things. This was a pretty big one. Is Vasquez hidden treasure in those rocks somewhere up there? Who knows? Maybe he came through here and hid something. This is actually back on the main Hummingbird Trail, so if you are sticking to the Hummingbird Trail, you'll be coming through here. I really doubt Vasquez hid any treasure in this area. But there are eyewitness accounts written at the time of encounters with Vasquez in Santa Susana Pass, so he was here. Yeah, but he ranged all through California, so everywhere can claim to have encounters with Vasquez. And now we come to what I call the crack of doom. It's because it's wide enough you could fall into it, deep enough that no one would see you if you did fall, and it narrows as it goes down, so you'd get trapped and just jammed in there. I almost fell into it once. It wasn't that fun. Anyways, crack of doom. And just above the crack of doom is one of the coolest erosion features you'll find on this trail. Just need to work your way up here, duck your head as you come into this area, and you'll see very fine examples of honeycomb erosion. It looks so unnatural. It looks like something an alien excreted. See it in a science fiction movie or something. It's like, we have 4 minutes to reach minimum safe distance. It is the coolest thing. Little Aliens movie reference for you. Even got holes in the ceiling here. Not quite sure how these form. Some combination of wind and water. It's cool. Well, let's head out. Go up a little bit further. Got some interesting rocks up here and another nice view of the area. Now, when I did this trail, I went all the way up to the top, but I'm not going to show you all the way to the top. Didn't make for a good video, and it also would make the video about an hour long. So I'm just going to stop here, head back down, do one more thing. These rocks are interesting because they're a lot redder than the other rocks in the area. Not sure why. Came from a different area, different layer in the strata. Anyways, somewhere out there is Vasquez's hidden treasure. Maybe it was here and they already dug it up. This is just another pothole. These things are so cool. So much more to explore. But we're going to head back down the trail. There's one more thing I want to show you. Down we go. I'm kind of jumping ahead because we've been past all this already. Okay, now we're back to where I went right instead of left. Now we're going to turn around and go left down into one of the tributaries to the Hummingbird Creek, or maybe this is the main Hummingbird Creek. A lot of things combine to become the Hummingbird Creek as it flows under the highway. Oh, here's a little watering hole. When I first walked up, a bunny was drinking out of it. Didn't catch it on the video, though. What's cool about this area is this lone palm tree and this creek bed. It's just exposed rock. I mean, you can tell water comes running down. Oh, a blue jay. Water comes running down here pretty forcefully to scour it all the way down to the rock. You've got these grooves and this lone palm tree. There's no other palm trees anywhere around except for here. How did this guy get here? It's a mystery. Zoom in a little bit more on these channels that are cut by the water. That's pretty cool. The palm tree casts interesting shadow. Let's go a little bit further upstream. There's some interesting things up here. Got the Southern California's idea of fall colors. And more boulders. And this birch and or aspen tree. It's pretty cool. Need to step carefully here. I don't want to face plant as I'm walking over these boulders. This tree is pretty cool. White bark. Nice leaves. Some of them are turning. It's growing amongst all these boulders. The stream continues on up. It's just a jumble of boulders in this section. You could keep going. You'd have to clamber over this boulder that I'm filming over to get there. Or you can go under boulders. There's a little passage here This little passage is big enough you could crawl through, and it's right underneath this birch tree. This is a cool shot. And now it's time to wrap things up. Video's gotten long enough. I hope you've come to appreciate all the cool things you can find off of Hummingbird Trail. I really highly recommend coming back there and doing your own exploring.